Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be a VR to Matropolis, asking how big your backlog is and how you deal with your backlog in general. So I think he released his video 2 weeks ago, around about 2 weeks ago I think it was, so now I'm finally getting around to doing a little VR to it, because I thought it was a really cool question, and I really wanted to get a VR done, because I've not done one in a long time. When I first started doing YouTube, there used to be quite a lot of VRs going around. There used to be a lot of interaction between the community, and I thought that was really cool, and I think it's quite lacking these days. But anyway, my main answer for how big the backlog is and how you deal with it, my main answer would be community. So a lot of my gaming is influenced by the community, whether it is YouTube or Twitter or Instagram, WhatsApp, anything where I'm involved in talking to people, interacting with people. That's where I get my inspiration to play certain games. There was a little bit of talk recently about how the community can be toxic. I don't believe that at all. I think the community is what you put into the community. This is my opinion, sorry. I think what you put into the community is what you get back out of the community. I think if you're a nice person in the community, you get nice feedback back. If you're a twat, then you get twat feedback, if that makes sense. Yeah, my 3 years almost on YouTube, and on Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever really, I've not experienced any toxicity towards me. I think maybe one occasion I did, and yeah, that wasn't very nice, but that's just the way it is. It depends on who you kind of interact with, is what I'm trying to say. But community is my answer to Matropolis's video on how big your backlog is and how you deal with your backlog, how you play your games. So I'm going to mention a few people, and if I mention people I'm going to write it down so I don't forget, and then consider yourself tagged if you want to do a VR. So a lot of examples, looking at the tower of games just there, one of the first games I finished this year was Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion, and I remember back when I first did get it, I was always getting Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion. I was always buying it because I love Final Fantasy games. But when I did get it, I did see Chicken Fillets, so his name's going down, and who else? Generation Pixel, I think he was a little bit later at it, or was he? Can't remember. But I remember those two guys absolutely loved their Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy VII, and when they post anything about it, the interaction with the comments and comment on each other's videos about Final Fantasy, that is the key to the community for me, and that's how I deal with my backlog. So Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion, was absolutely brilliant, and even just that interaction between these two guys. And I believe Mark, also Jogger Slasher, he also played through it as well. Loved it as well. So that is one game from the community that I've played this year. The next game again is, I would have to say, Epic Mickey. So I played Epic Mickey this year as part of a community challenge, which was hosted by Omega Ace. So his name's going down as well. Omega Ace and Mazin as well, his partner in crime. So they guys, it was actually Omega Ace's, I'm sure it was his competition for his 800 sub, and I need to watch back his live, I think it was on last night, it was on a bit too late for me, but yeah, through watching Omega and being part of Omega's kind of chat and his streams, I got involved in his Disney themed competition, which was really fun. and I played Epic Mickey a couple of years ago, which I thought Epic Mickey was brilliant, and Epic Mickey 2 was equally just as good. I would have preferred to play it in co-op, because you get to play as Mickey and Oswald. But I think Jay's a little bit too old to play Epic Mickey now, so he didn't want to play with me. What else and who else? So at the moment I'm playing, let me just get it out. At the moment I'm playing Chrono Cross on the Switch. Not this copy, obviously, this is the PlayStation. But this game is fantastic. I absolutely love this game way back in the day, and I think the reason that me and my brother, we loved it, the reason I think we liked it so much was because we loved Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 8 didn't quite hit. It's not bad, but it didn't quite hit. But then Final Fantasy 9 came out and it was cool too, and then this game as well. But I think we loved it so much because it was quite elusive. We didn't get a UK release, so we had to. I can't remember if we imported it or just got a copy of it, but we didn't have a chipped PlayStation at the time. So the memories of disc swapping was really cool. This game came from Betty Horde Clinic, so Bill at Betty Horde Clinic, his name's gone down as well. But yeah, sorry, what I was saying there, is I think we liked it so much that it was pretty elusive back in the day when we were playing it. Not a lot of people had played it. And just the whole theatre and the performance of disc swapping was just brilliant. That was just a nice little kind of experience and memory we've got, like disc swapping the games through to get chipped games or import games to play on our PlayStation 1. You have to put like a biro, you have to put like, the pen into the. It was just all so cool. Who else? So let's see if I can find it. I don't know what it is. But I've got a CD wallet and it's full of copied Sega Saturn games, and they came from Eddie Roller X-Core. He sent me up a whole. Oh, there it is there. Oh shit, I'm gonna drop my phone. So he sent me up this. He didn't send the wallet, sorry, I got the wallet myself, but he sent up a whole bunch of copied. That's not this series, but a whole bunch of copied Sega Saturn games, and he also fixed my action replay cards so I could play them, and absolutely love playing them. Eddie's name's gone down as well, in case I forget. Love playing through them games as well. He's added obviously some games to my backlog, but these games are just so, again, elusive, expensive to buy, very expensive to buy. I think there's that tempo game he put in here, and I got to a bit where you had to fight a chicken. I can't remember, a big robot chicken I think it was, and it was solid. They beat me and I stopped playing it. But I have played all the games that he gave me to a certain degree, but I haven't finished them all. I only finished one, which was Wolfang, I think it was. But Wolfang is like a 2D shooter, mech kind of shooter, and you get to pick your kind of levels, which way you want to go, kind of like Lilac Wars. That you pick your kind of direction you want to go through the game. So I think I picked like the easiest route, so I just flew through that one. It was really cool, a really good shooter. So who else next? Who else have we got next? Ross Bahaha. So he is constantly playing. I mean, in January there, he was playing a new game every single day and streaming it on his Twitch account. And out of all the games he played, 30 games, 31 games he played, I think I'd only played 1 or 2 of them. So there's a whole bunch of games there that he's played that looked interesting that I do want to give a go. He played Castlevania Symphony of the Night, brilliant game. I think he's going back to finish that. He played Cuphead, which I will never play, never ever play, but I'm sure he just finished it. And sorry, he recommended the game. Oh, better put his name down, sorry. He recommended a walking simulator, which was The Suicide of Rachel Foster. That was a really cool game. and I really do like these little walking simulators because they're nice little breaths of fresh air. I got that on the Switch store for 89p, I think it was. So like it was under £1 for a game that he said was a really cool game, a nice pace, nice story, and the really cool thing about that game was it kind of leads you down a path, then it'll change, and it kept you guessing all the way kind of through the game, and I really enjoyed that. And it only lasted like 3 hours. It was like the length of a movie, the length of a film. So that was really cool. And still on walking simulators, Mr. Feed Me Chicken. Let me see if I've got the game at hand. No, it's not there. So Mr. Feed Me Chicken out of the blue one day sent me a message asking me, is it there? No. Asking me if I'd played this game, and it was. Oh, so it's quite funny. So he sent a message, and he said, "Have you played Child of Light?" And I said, "I played a little bit of it." I thought, if I could remember rightly, Child of Light was a 2D RPG platformer kind of thing, and like everyone speaks in rhymes, so like it's kind of like a nursery rhyme kind of. It's a really cool game, Child of Light. I've never finished it though. And I sent that as a message, and he replied to me and was like, "No, that's not the game I'm talking about. Like what the hell are you talking about?" So I sent him a picture. I googled it. I sent a picture of Child of Light, which is that one with the wee girl with the red hair and the sword and on the front cover. And he said, "Ah, no, that's not the game I meant. So he meant to say Town of Light, which I'd never played before. And I was like, "Ah, no, that is quite different." So he sent me that game, complete in box, still had the postcards, everything. He just sent it up to me and said, "Give this a go, I think you'd like it." Because his previous recommendation was Get Even, which was really cool. It was a walking simulator again, but it was a bit more, it had a bit more kind of action and things like that. But this one is just a pure walking simulator telling the story of a young girl in the 1940s in Italy and the extremities of the medical profession dealing with mental health. So that was a really cool game. It lasted again maybe 3 or 4 hours, and it was brilliant. But again, it was because of the feedback and the interaction with Feed Me Chicken that I really wanted to play that, and he sent it up to me and we got through that game. So that was really cool as well. So Feed Me Chicken's going on the list. Now what else have we got? So this one's a bit of a sore note, but we'll mention it anyway. And I don't really know how to deal with this sort of stuff, but this one here is a game that a lot of us are doing within the community again, because we lost somebody recently, and yeah, I don't really know how to express it. I'm not really comfortable with that, but the thing is, so the gentleman that passed away was John. He had a channel, Retro Kit, and then he changed his name to Lama Gamer. Really nice guy, such a nice guy, always leaving comments and just really positive and all about his games, and that is exactly what really kind of clicked with me. He had a full 360 collection, and this is one of his favourite games, so we all decided we're going to give this a blast this year, and it was Call of Duty 3. Now, I've mentioned this, when did I mention this? Recently. But I'll go through it again just quickly. I've not played a World War II game in a long time, and this was just a really cool kind of breath of fresh air to go back and play something like this. Something akin to like PS2 kind of era shooters. That's when I last maybe played a World War II shooter, was way back in PS2 time. But really enjoyed that as well, and again through the community, this is why we've picked up on playing this game. Moving on, we'll go on to this one here. So this is a game that I played, I think it was just before Call of Duty, Call of Duty 3, and it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Now I love this game, and again it's got some sad connotations. It was me and a friend of mine who sadly passed away as well, far too young. We absolutely smashed this on the PS3. Smashed it, platinumed it, loved it. It was so cool. And even when we did do the platinum and we got all the Spec Ops, Gold Stars and everything, we still played this constantly, especially online. We had a flat together and he'd play downstairs and I'd play upstairs, and we'd just kind of team up, and it was just brilliant. But this game here is fantastic, and I know that Dad and Lads played this recently as well, and yeah, they loved it. Tommy was a fan of the ending, and Marcus wasn't a fan of the ending, but it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I thought the ending was ace. I thought maybe the end. Alright, so I think maybe the ending level was a little bit kind of out of pace, out of place, and out of pace. It was a little bit different. But I think the ending cinematics were fantastic. Were absolutely brilliant. The end of credits scene was amazing. Oh, so cool, so cool. Love this game. And again, that was from my memories of my friend, but also when I seen Marcus and Tommy, when I seen that they had played it, then I had to go through it as well. So Dad and Lads going on the list. What else have I played recently? Let's get this one out. I'm going to forget so many people, and I'm going to forget the reason I'm doing this video. So, Plague Tale Innocence. Paul the Ink Northerner. So he played this last year, and he played it, the second one, sorry, Requiem. He played that one this year. So I'm looking forward to playing the second one. This game was fantastic. This felt like this game was very much a kind of game that I absolutely love, like a blockbuster feel, like pretty linear to a point that the game is telling you a story, and I loved the story. I thought it was fantastic, and I wanted to see what was next, and that's the kind of style and execution in a game that I like, that a game pushes you through a story kind of thing. Open world games are fine, but I just prefer, like, it felt like a Sony Studios game is what I'm trying to say as well. It felt like an Uncharted or a Last of Us or Days Gone, just something like that, just something that kind of pushes you through a story, and it was brilliant. And that was because Paul Ink Northerner, that's because he mentioned it, that I wanted to give that a go as well. Next one, I would say, this is a long-winded video just for a quick VR. The next one I would say would be Limbo. So I played Limbo just recently. That was my most finished, no, that wasn't my most finished, second most recent finished game was Limbo. And a lot of people within the community, within our WhatsApp group, are playing that at the moment. I'll finish that, sorry, I should say. And they finished Inside as well. So that's a game I'm going to get to next. And that's because it's on my backlog, it's on my digital backlog, sorry. And I do intend to play it because the guys have played it as well. And that's what I like. I like the interaction. I like people telling me this is good, that's good. And just eventually getting round to the games. But who played Limbo? I'm trying to think who played Limbo. I know that Paul's played it. I think everyone's played it, to be honest with you. Mark just played Inside, I believe. Who else? Pete Fighter. I'll put Pete Fighter down as well, because I've seen on his Instagram that he is going to start to give YouTube another go. He's going to jump back into YouTube and start doing his well, I hope pickups, because I love pickups. But I think he's going to focus more on his 52 game challenge and doing like roundups of the 52 game challenge, which again is another reason, another point of how I play my backlog. The 52 game challenge really eggs you on, and that's a kind of WhatsApp group as well. But it's not even just that. There's a lot of people out there that are doing the 52 game challenge, but I don't think they realise they're doing the 52 game challenge. They're just doing their own things. They're playing their games. They're keeping track of them. Whether they know that there is a little challenge, it's not a big it's not a big deal. Not a lot of people know that we do the challenge or not, but they're doing their own little thing, and it's off the top of my head, we've got Linda, the gamer girl. She plays a ton of games, absolutely a ton of games, and I liked recently she did games that she played last year, which was really cool to see all the games she played. And she did a video on the games that she played in January. So in the thumbnail, she's got like a wee pile of games, and she just went through the games that she played, and it was really, really cool. So there's Linda the gamer girl. There's Sega Blocks. Sega Blocks is a beast. He smashes his games out. He's just finished Gargoyle's Quest 1 or 2, I can't remember, but he's just finished Gargoyle's Quest. So Sega Blocks, you're going down too, big man. And then Captain Algebra. So I watched, Captain Algebra. I watched his video on the games that he did last year as well. An absolute plethora of games, loads of games. But again, it's not that the 52 game challenge is an actual official thing. It's just that that's what like me and some friends are going for. But to see other people doing it as well is really, really cool. So Captain Algebra, you're going down too. Who else? This is just a big massive tagging video now. Retro Rivals. So they did a really cool thing, but gee whiz, it looked like a lot of work. I couldn't do that. That's not not the way I would do it, because I couldn't do it, and I don't know where the bloody get all the information from. But they broke down their gaming habits from last year, and they broke it all the way down, like analytically. They've split it all the way down into different genres. How many hours they spent on each console, on how many hours they spent on each genre. Like, they really went through it with a fine tooth comb, and it was a really cool watch. They played a ton of games as well last year, and they keep track of what they're doing. But yeah, Retro Rivals, they're going down as well. And I think I just really need to wrap this up. Well, actually, just a couple more votes. So recently as well on Twitter, I've seen Retro Red Steve and Super Jim Tindo. They both played or are playing. Steve finished it, and Jim Tindo is just playing it at the moment, I think, and it's Far Cry 4. And that's a game I do want to get back. I do want to give another try, because I love Far Cry 3. Far Cry 5 is fantastic. I've just been given, spoilers for pickups next month, I've just been given Far Cry 6 from my little brother. But Far Cry 4 I never gave the time of day to. I think it was because 3 was so good, and then I went to 4. I didn't like it so much. But I do want to give it another go, because I think it will be fantastic. And Pagan Min's meant to be a really, really cool antagonist, so I need to give that another go. But again, I think it's the kind of the whole Far Cry kind of world. You get fatigued with it, I think. And then if you were to go and start again, I think Jim Tendo mentioned it was just a big map of like dots and things you had to do, and yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming, I think. But I need to be in the mood to play something like that. So big Jim Tendo's going down here, and Retro Red Steve. Next person I'm going to mention is Heaps of Games. This will be the last one, because I need to wrap it up. This is going on a wee bit too long. But Heaps of Games, he's a massive influence on games that I play as well, because he is very, very interactive. He's very mature. Like, if you say you don't agree with him, it's fine. There's no nastiness. He's just a grown up. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, he's a big, massive influence as well, because in the sense of he just plays his games, and you can see that he plays his games, you can see that he loves his games. And just recently, he's been playing Atomic Heart, and I was looking forward to that game for so long. And I'm thinking I'm going to get it, because he's just kind of twisted my arm now, because he's put out a couple of shots. He released a wee kind of first first impressions on it. It does. It looks fantastic. It looks as good as I thought it would be, because it looks very Bioshock and like a utopian kind of world setting and things like that. It just looks absolutely fantastic. He also covered, back when it came out, Callisto Protocol, which I think is brilliant. And I remember Callisto Protocol and Atomic Heart. I've had both the kind of hype for both of them, the same kind of amount of hype. I remember seeing Callisto Protocol and I seen the kind of cinematics of it ages ago when they were just teasing it, and I thought it looked brilliant. And then again with Atomic Heart, I seen the teaser for it and photos and videos, things like that, and again I thought it looked brilliant. So heaps of games. Another big influence on my gaming habits. But I'm going to stop now because that's a whole bunch of people. Consider yourselves all tagged. But again, you don't have to do it. The reason that I've done this VR is because I just think that VRs have kind of gone by the wayside. I think when I first started 2 or 3 years ago, VRs were fantastic. Everyone was jumping on them. Everyone was like talking and chatting. And I think the more that I've gone through my YouTube life, if you will, there's a lot of people that I've known back then as well that have kind of became blindsided a little bit, and they're just more focused on subs and likes and watch time and trying to get themselves monetized. And you can see that in their videos. You can just see that that's what they're going for. They're no longer interested in VRs. They're no longer interested in interaction with the people that they used to interact with. They've moved on. They now have the goals of hitting those targets, which is absolutely fine. You can do whatever you want. It's no skin off my nose at all. But I just like to remember where I came from. I like to remember who I interacted with, even way back in the day. And yeah, that's just it. I just think people need to do VRs. I want to see more VRs. I like seeing people getting involved. I like seeing people talking. I like hearing people's opinions on games, whether you agree or not. It doesn't matter. You can be an adult, like heaps of games. You can be an adult and say, like, this is what I thought. I'm not saying what you think. You think whatever you want. We're not going to fall out. You don't fall out with people. You just go on with it. But anyway, I need to finish this video because I'm just talking utter shite now. I'm just waffling on. But this was my VR to Matropolis. How big's your backlog and how do you deal with your backlog? My main answer is all of this. All of this is community based. Everything that I'm doing, everything that I really do is to talk to people and play games, and yeah, that is my answer. The community is king. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.